When Animal Crossing released on the GameCube in the early 2000s, it was pure magic. I was a teen at the time, and I had memories of the Tamagotchi when I was a kid, and I was also enjoying the dawn of the internet. So having virtual friends living in a town that actually was inside of a game console felt completely cutting edge. It felt impossible that these programs were able to live their lives without me even turning on the TV. And when I came home to say hi to them, it felt warm and perfect. This was really the beginning of the age of the internet. And so what would happen is you would have a friend, and your friend's older brother would read something on an internet forum, and he would tell you some crazy story that you've never heard anyone else talk about, and you certainly didn't read it in the Nintendo magazine. Like, for example, there was a rumor that if you banged on Nook's shop's door in the middle of the night, he'd wake up and sleepily sell you items. This actually was only in the upgraded Japanese version of the game, but I remember trying this any night I was playing late. There was also a rumor about an evil villager that could appear in your town. He was a purple dog named Brutus, and he would appear if you didn't return to the village for a long time. He would speak in binary and be in your house unannounced to cause you harm. That one actually is just a total lie. It never happened. Thanks to the internet becoming a driving force in the lives of young people and Animal Crossing displaying what we perceived as new technology, the possibility for strange and haunted happenings felt like a deliciously spooky reality. So since then, I always perk up when I see a game that promises to be a creepy Animal Crossing. There hasn't been many, to be honest, so I was incredibly excited for Easy Delivery Co. when it was first announced. You play Seb. Wait, you're not Seb, you're somebody else. You play not Seb, a delivery driving cat in a snowy mountain town where the sun never seems to peek out from behind the clouds. This isn't a charming mountain town with co-op farm stands. No, everyone works for a different piece of the Easy Corporation. And in fact, you drive for them in your little delivery truck. Your job is a simple one. You take deliveries from one easy business to another. Besides making sure you don't yeet yourself off a cliff, you need to pay attention to 3 key things: your energy levels, your fuel, and also don't freeze to death. You can see the meters here, so they're easy to keep track of. You can replenish your stamina with energy drinks, but that's a fleeting energy that ends up costing you more over time. You can refill your truck at the gas station run by a surly villager, and you cannot freeze to death by staying in your truck. You also get really good at reading a map. When you open it up, there's no indicator of where you are on the map. So it's up to you to use signs and visual cues to know where you are and where the shortcuts are to use. Reading a map is a very useful skill that most of us don't actually need anymore. My husband actually used to be a pizza boy, and he would have a physical laminated map that would show various areas of service and which roads to take. These days, you can ask your phone where to get you, and even if you're in a different country, it does a really great job. But what happens with that is that we just lose the ability to read a map and figure out where we are in a location. This game asks you to look at the map and try to figure out where you are and where you need to go. And honestly, you're gonna start feeling awesome when you see that a delivery is set for a weird corner of the town and you say to yourself, yeah, I know how to get there. Even though it's way more inconvenient than just showing where you are on the map, I kind of feel like more games should do this. I know it's a hassle, but it helps you learn how to read a map again, which could be useful. Like, for example, the next time I go on a hike, I know that I'm probably not going to get lost for 2 hours because I took the wrong trail because I didn't read the map right. I'm a pro now. So yeah, these towns are totally isolated and quiet. You never have to worry about another car on the road. It's just you and the birds out there, while all of the villagers are busy working at their shops. In fact, it's kind of strange that it seems like they can't leave their shops, but we'll look at that later. All of the villagers that you interact with have their own personalities, and they start to open up to you the more you drop in to pick up a delivery. Like, one villager has a crush on another villager, one started a dream journal, and another tries to get the community together for fun nights. My favorite villager works at the flower shop. They have this cute little stutter, and they talk about their feelings, and I must protect them at all costs. Despite the truly awful weather, everyone seems to be trying their best to live under the corporate overlord of EZ. That's when you notice there's one villager, only one villager, who is outside of their designated business. In fact, it seems like they don't even work at one of these businesses. They teach you how to start a fire and brew your own coffee and tea. Coffee gives you way more energy than the energy drinks, and tea can help you from freezing to death. Plus, both of these taste a lot better than most energy drinks. I'm just gonna say it. Hot take. As the game progresses, you open up 2 other towns that allow you to make big money on these intercity deliveries. There's also snow, weather, and ice to watch out for, so you actually get to upgrade your truck and learn how to bear these freezing temperatures. This is when you'll see very light survival mechanics come into play. Once you leave your truck, the cold weather will slowly kill you if you don't find shelter. But if you know how to build a fire and make tea, you can avoid dying in the snow. I'm gonna be honest, I don't play a lot of survival games, so I failed a lot at this. Enough that I wondered if I should keep playing the game at all. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm a big advocate for cozy games that try to do something different and push the limits of what makes a cozy game. While I do think fundamentally this game is cozy and should appeal to anyone who primarily plays those games, if you're not ready to stock up on firewood and brave the snow, you're gonna have a bad time. The area that really made me question myself was at the tower. I needed to get all the way up there without my truck. It's a trek up some wooden steps, and you absolutely need to build fires in order to get to the top. To build a fire, you need to open up your inventory, select the wood, set the wood, then select another piece of wood, set that wood, and then grab your lighter. And then, oh god, your lighter doesn't light it the first time, so you're spamming the button and now you're dead. I also found myself accidentally chucking the wood off the side of the platform and cursing the endless hallways I had to slowly walk through until I respawned to try it again. But this game is not merciless, okay? If you die out there in the snow, you don't lose everything, and you'll respawn right in your truck, usually where you just left it. The only punishment is having to slow walk through a liminal space while you think about what you've done. With a couple more tries, I was able to do it, and from that point on, I was no longer scared of the snow. Most cozy games will not challenge you in this way, but that means a lot of cozy games won't fill you with the satisfaction of, now I know how to do this forever, and I am no longer scared of this game mechanic, even if it gets harder. I think that games like this that allow you to try and fail without a huge punishment can create a pipeline into other games, especially for folks who have, up until this point, only played cozy games that do not have real consequences. For example, maybe after this I'll feel brave enough to try Subnautica, or that new game Winter Burrow, where you play a mouse trying to survive in the winter. It gave me the confidence that I too can be a real gamer, and I love this game for that. Anyway, so yeah, I like that this game will challenge you. It's not straight cozy, and that breaks up the monotony of driving the truck from one place to another over and over. The driving is incredibly satisfying though, and you can get into some crazy taxi driving if that's what you want to do. That's all you, baby. There's also hats. You know, I gotta mention, if there's hats, there's hats. It's kind of a gacha mechanic, which is even better. And so you go into the pawn shop and you can buy a mystery bag, and that will have either a hat in it or a color for your truck. It's very cool. You can't customize how your cat looks, like the base cat, but you can wear a cool hat and change the color of your truck, and that's neat. Okay, so we've learned how to drive and not die in the snow. We have also made friends with the locals, and hold on, wait a minute. They're kind of talking funny, right? Kind of like talking in binary or some weird code. Yeah, so like as the story progresses, you'll notice that the villagers start to shut down or say things that sound like lines of code and errors on a computer. They were just starting to open up and make the most of this depressing town, but now this? You want to know what's causing this and how to help them, so you and the only other villager that can move around the town decide to figure it out together. I'm not going to spoil anything else since I really want you to play this game, but I will say originally I was going to play this game and make this video because I thought this was going to be horror, but it really isn't. There's some unsettling things, obviously, but there's no jump scares or Brutus the purple dog waiting to chase you down in the snow, which would be pretty funny. If they're going to add some DLC, that would be some fun DLC. I think if you're looking for something spooky, it will probably fit the bill, but this is not going to horrify you. This is a vibes-based game. It's got really spooky atmosphere, and if you love driving through snow and experiencing these towns and you like the look of this game, then it's going to be for you. Also, I just love the villagers. They all have their own personality. There's a lot of dialogue lines. There was a lot of love put into each one of these villagers, so that wins a lot of extra points for me. I also want to note that this game is awesome on the Steam Deck. I played it with a controller on my computer so I could capture video for you guys, but most hours I put into this game were on my Steam Deck. It's a great game to play before bed, and it has cloud saves in case you want to go between the computer and the deck like I do. But wait, you say, how could you call this a cozy game without fishing? It actually has fishing. The fishing in this game is probably my favorite thing because it drives home this theme of doing things the hard way may be harder, but it's more gratifying than the easy way. Get it? Easy way? Because it's easy. Anyway, so when you get the fishing rod, you learn that the only way you can fish is to park your truck on the side of the road and walk through the cold into the fishing hut. From there, you need to light the stove, and then you can do ice fishing. I am not familiar with the literal ice fishing that we do in the real world, so I thought I could just drive my truck onto the lake next to the hut and then go ice fishing, but apparently you can't do that in some places. Your truck will sink, so don't do that. You will drown. What makes it more interesting is that the fishing huts are located around the lake and they're different distances from the shore. So it's going to behoove you to drive around looking for the best one that's closest to the shore, because remember, you have to park your truck and then walk across the ice to get into the hut. On top of that, Fishing Town tends to have really bad weather that will kick up randomly. So while it was mild when you went into the hut, it could be storming on your way out. Once you get everything set up, the simple process of catching fish, making fish soup, and then catching more fish is a lovely experience. You are no longer battling snowbanks and bad weather. You are warm and you are cozy and you are in your fishing hut making delicious soup. The fire in the stove will eventually go out, but you can add more wood and make more soup. And here's the kicker you probably saw coming. Fish soup is not only the cheapest energy source, it is also the most powerful and has cold resistance. You no longer have to rely on the easy energy drinks that barely keep you alive. You don't even have to buy coffee and tea anymore if you don't want to. You can fish for yourself, and I think that's the message of this wonderful little game. You can solve the problem. You don't need to wait around for someone else to do it for you. So I'll leave you with this. As of making this video, I found the secret ending of this game, and the actual ending of the game, that is the secret ending, is really beautiful. I loved it a lot. There's a couple different choices you can make. I'm gonna put it that way. You just figure out what you want to do, my friend. But I like driving around and unlocking hats and different colors from my car, so I think I'm going to put more time into it, even though I've beat it. I'm at about 10 hours right now, and so for the price, I think it's worth it. I think it rocks. So if you're looking for an atmospheric, kind of creepy Animal Crossing game with a fun message, and you want a fun driving game, because it is so much fun to drive around, you're going to love this game.